It's me, Melman and baby Melman. And of course me, Mats. Welcome back to a new video. I hope you are doing well today. This is the channel HeyMats, and if you're new here, we are the Hey Squad. Would be very glad. Yeah, if you can subscribe this channel. And today with this story, I followed my crush to the basement, instantly regrets it. Let's go. Never look down on anybody unless you're helping them up.
I was running.
This is a great quote.
Through the rain, trying to get home as quickly as possible, when I noticed my crush James walking onto the school grounds. I didn't want him to see me like this.
But James is so cool. He's so chill. Even if it's raining, he doesn't care about the rain. He's like walking like he's the coolest guy on earth, yeah?
To the bone, looking like a drowned rat. But I had to know what he was up to. What if he was breaking into the school? I decided to follow him. And at one point, I swear, he turned around and looked right at me. I didn't know if I was seeing things, but it even looked like he smiled at me. Wait, did he want me to—
Yeah, of course he's smiling to you when you're like observing him in the bushes. This is creepy.
To follow him? Suddenly, I felt brave. I was going to tell him how I felt. The moment I'd waited for my whole life had arrived. But then I saw him climbing into the tornado shelter, and that should have been my first warning not to keep following him, because things were about to get super weird. Before I unleash my crazy story onto you, click like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the madness that
he walks through the rain like nothing, is crawling into a basement now. This is, actually this is kind of weird. Okay, but let me guess.
The story animated?
She will follow him, huh?
Has in store for you. Okay, so there I was, climbing into a tornado shelter after my crush, with absolutely no plan of what I'd do next. I was acting purely on impulse, and it felt amazing. I felt sure he knew I'd climbed in after him, but I couldn't see anything, so I used the flashlight on my phone and realized he'd already gone down the stairs. The rain was really pouring now, so I closed the lid. The last thing I wanted was to flood the shelter. Not on a special night like tonight. I'd never been this close to—
When I was younger, in my hometown, we had an old military shelter as well, and we had a gym in there. So it was sometimes very cold, wet. It was not comfortable there, but it was a gym. Yeah, we trained there. That was kind of nice. In an old military shelter.
Before, just the two of us alone. Except
in a dark, cold basement shelter. Okay. She's like romanticizing like everything.
We weren't alone. As soon as I closed the lid, I heard a girl's voice. No! I started panicking and decided this had been a stupid idea. I pushed the lid to climb back out, but it wouldn't open.
Why did you close it, girl? Oh. Now she's trapped.
No matter how hard I pushed it, it didn't budge. Oh my gosh, I was stuck. If it had just been me and James down there, it would have been quite exciting. But suddenly I heard a kiss.
Quite exciting. Yeah, you cannot get out, you're stuck, no food, yeah, quite exciting. If your crush is next to you, it's quite exciting. No, when you die because of hunger, it's not funny anymore.
Sound, and I realized my worst nightmare had just come true. I was stuck in a tornado shelter with my crush and his girlfriend by the—
Okay, this is the catastrophe. This is the most embarrassing catastrophe I've ever heard of.
Sounds of things. I didn't want them to know I was there, like some creepy stalkers, so I tried to keep as quiet as possible. I could hear them laughing, and then the girl said, "Did anyone see you come in here? I hope we didn't get caught." And James replied, "No, I don't think so. Oh no, wait, there was a girl from my school, but she wouldn't say anything. She's such a loser."
Oh, he noticed her? He turned around and he saw her in the bushes with like a bird nest on her head? She seems a little bit nerdy. Oh, come on.
That I had to cover my face. I wanted to cry. It felt like he'd shoved a knife through my heart. And then I felt angry.
Why angry? It's your fault. Don't stalk people. Don't follow people in basements. And don't be angry he has another girlfriend because you're like, he didn't do anything wrong.
To get out of there. This was literally the most embarrassing situation to ever be in. And what would my parents think when they found out? I gave the lid one final push, but I pushed too hard.
Okay, she definitely got her orange hair from her dad.
The next moment, I lost my footing and was rolling down the stairs. I landed with a thump and blacked out for a second. When I opened my eyes, James and his girlfriend were standing over me. They didn't even ask me if I was okay. James just looked down at me and said, "Did you follow me here?"
Yeah, of course. Of course. In the first place, it's important that she's okay, of course. But in the second moment, you think, okay, did she follow me?
What are you playing at? Then he turned to his girlfriend and said, "Come on, babe, let's bounce." Then they just left me lying there and headed up the stairs. I was about to tell them...
Okay, this is rude, yeah?
That we were trapped down there, but they'd soon discover it for themselves. I could hear James bashing on the lid of the shelter, but obviously it wouldn't open. And then he shouted down to me and asked if I'd done this and if I thought it was funny. No, James, I did not find this funny. I wanted to shout up at him. Gosh, what...
Why did she close it? That was so unnecessary.
What would he say if he knew how much I wished I were his girlfriend and not that dumb blonde girl?
Oh, come on, don't be angry, forget him. You're a stalker girl.
He started shouting about how he had to get out ASAP because the next day was his big football game that was going to guarantee him a scholarship to a top college. He said he had to get it, otherwise he'd be stuck in this stupid town forever. Oh no.
He freaks out.
This was a disaster, and it was only just the beginning. I sat up and looked around with my flashlight on my phone and realized there was literally nothing down there except for some sandbags and an old scratchy blanket that looked like 1,000 bugs might be living in it.
Yeah, and the mattress. Better than nothing. You're sleeping on a soft ground.
And then I realized I was shivering, like properly freezing cold. My phone was on 10%. Not that it mattered. There was absolutely no signal down there anyway. I didn't even have a bottle of water on me, and by the looks of things, James and his girlfriend had nothing either. Oh man. I held my breath as they came down the stairs. I was so scared of what they'd say to me. They were arguing, and James's girlfriend came right up to me.
But this is dumb too. Yeah, when you're like, you three people, you're like stuck in that situation and you have to find a solution. And arguing and shout at each other is the most dumbest thing you can do. Yeah?
And said, "This is all your fault."
Yeah, of course it is. Actually, yes, unfortunately, but you have to find a solution. And anyways.
You've ruined everything. Truly, that felt like the most awkward moment of my entire life. James told her to try and calm down, and I learned her name was Amy. She must have gone to another school because I'd never seen her before. Neither of them had signal either, and soon they started screaming for help. I didn't want to tell them it was pointless. The rain was so loud, no one would hear us even if they were right above us. Eventually, I told them I was sorry, even though it wasn't my fault. I lied and told them I'd been trying to shelter from the rain because I'd forgotten my umbrella, but Amy didn't buy it. She said, "Yeah, right. You're clearly a stalker. Do you get kicks out of watching other people making out or something?" James said you're a loser, and he wasn't joking. Look at you. If I hadn't already been underground, I'd have asked the ground to swallow me up. No one had ever been so mean to me before. After that...
this is not okay. This is rude. Do not bully her or something. But actually, it was her fault.
It was really uncomfortable, and all of us were in a bad mood. Soon, it became obvious we'd all have to spend the night down there.
The whole night? And they were already shivering after 1 hour, so yeah, it will be a very cold, uncomfortable night, I guess.
So I found a corner as far away from Amy as possible and lay down. I was still shivering and thought about using the insect-infested blanket, but Amy had already grabbed it. There was no way I'd fall asleep. I was so thirsty, and even though the shelter luckily had a small toilet, there was no sink, which meant no running water. I'd have drunk the rain earlier.
Oh, okay. I thought she drank the toilet water. Okay.
If I knew this was going to happen. I covered my ears because I was afraid I'd hear them kissing, and eventually I must have fallen asleep.
To hear them kissing is the smallest problem ever. You have to stay alive.
Because the next moment, I found myself waking up to hearing a rustling sound. I looked over at Amy, and even though I couldn't see anything, I knew she was eating something. I could hear her. I couldn't believe she had food with her and wasn't sharing it. Did James know? I should have said something.
Okay, this is kind of selfish.
But I was too scared. I'd already caused enough trouble. Finally, morning came, and by then my phone was at 2%. Soon, I wouldn't even know what time it was. I was bursting for the toilet.
And it's always dark all the time, so you don't know the time.
Went to use it, and of course, Amy shouted at me and said my peeing was too loud and had woken her up. Then I noticed there was a light switch outside the toilet.
Come on, support each other. As a team, you can work things better. You can work things out better as a team. Work together, support each other.
Clicked on it, not expecting it to work, and suddenly the whole shelter was flooded with light.
What?
Amy quickly pulled the blanket up and told me to look away.
There's power?
Oh my gosh, were they not wearing clothes? Then Amy just laughed and said everyone knows that body heat is the best way to survive in cold weather. Ew! Once they got dressed, I realized how pretty Amy was, and it really annoyed me. How could I have thought James would
Oh, I guess somebody is jealous.
ever be interested in someone like me when he had Amy? I ran up the stairs and tried to push the lid again, but then I just sat there waiting for people to arrive at school. Then I'd scream my head off. Plus, I didn't want them to look at me. I felt so insecure about my running clothes, and I hadn't even shaved my legs. I didn't want James noticing. I could hear the school bell.
Shaved legs are so unimportant. Just care about that you will be alive.
And feet walking over us, but no one heard me scream. How long would we be down here? James was complaining about being hungry, and Amy too, but I knew Amy had eaten something in the night. She was a liar. We started looking around the place to see if we could find anything, and James suddenly sounded happy. Under the sandbags,
Oh no, he found the key.
he'd found some old bottles of water. The water looked disgusting.
Yeah, don't drink it. That can make the situation worse. Yeah, because then you get like a food poisoning or something. You don't want that.
I'd have drunk anything by that point. Both James and I downed like a liter each, but Amy refused. Suit yourself, I thought. Then about an hour later, I started getting a weird pain in my stomach. Oh no, there was no toilet paper. This couldn't be happening. I had to run and almost puked my guts up. And I wasn't the only one. James raced in after me, and at one point, we were both lying on the floor, taking it in turns
You're so dumb. Of course it's because of the old water. If it was water, I don't know what it was. Maybe some chemicals or something.
Vomit. Not exactly what I had in mind for our first date together. That water must have been 20
Puking together. Dream date.
years
In front of his crush.
old or something. Amy got seriously annoyed and even tried to drag James out of the bathroom. Was she jealous? And then I noticed an empty soda bottle behind the toilet. Had Amy secretly had a bottle of soda and not told us? How selfish. That first day seemed to fly by.
So this is the reason why she didn't want a bottle, because she had some food. Yeah, she's kind of selfish.
Of it spent in the bathroom, of course. By the end of the day, I'd almost lost my voice from screaming for help. Would we be stuck down there forever? And then nighttime came, and James and Amy got into a huge fight. Secretly, it made me happy to see them argue. James deserved better. He was super
This is kind of evil as well when you like it when someone argues so that you will get him. This is selfish too.
upset that he'd missed his football game.
When he's single again and you meet him, it's actually fine. If you want that they argue and that stuff and bad things happen, this is selfish and evil, in my opinion.
But Amy just kept saying he could go to college with her and then they'd never be apart. And James got really angry and said he didn't want to go to her college. Then the whole room went silent. It was tense. I didn't know what to do, so I just stayed quiet and pretended to be asleep. A while later, I heard someone saying my name. I opened my eyes and could see James. He said he could hear my teeth chattering and that I should come and share their blanket. But if Amy woke up and saw me, she'd go mental. I didn't care about her though. James was actually being kind of nice to me for the first time in my life.
Of course.
I couldn't lose my chance.
He argued with Amy.
So I climbed under the blanket next to him. Our legs were almost touching. And of course, that woke Amy up. And when she saw me, I thought she was going to explode. James wanted to keep the peace, so he snuggled into her and left me lying there all alone. But I couldn't stop thinking about the moment we just shared. And during the night, I decided to try and get closer to him. I rolled over until I was almost right at his back. But then I heard something. They were kissing. I was watching them, wishing it was me he was kissing.
Come on, just care about that you get out there, then you can escape. Don't care about him. And when there are a couple, just don't separate them. This is not fair. When they separate each other voluntarily, this is fine. Then you can meet him. But don't do that, okay? I do wish nobody anything bad. And if it's the boyfriend from my current crush, I don't wish him something bad because he's a human as well and he did nothing wrong. He's just in a relationship with my crush. So he's lucky, but I don't wish him something bad, you know?
Stop staring. But suddenly, Amy opened her eyes and caught me watching them. She told James, but James said I was
creepy. Imagine kissing with somebody and there is a girl behind him and is like watching you, stalking you.
Sleep, and that they should get some sleep too. But James didn't go back to sleep. He waited until Amy was snoring next to him, and then he reached out his hand and grabbed mine. I felt like my heart was going to explode, and I so badly wanted to get closer to him.
And he's the lucky guy in the middle. He plays with both girls, but this is not correct. This is wrong.
But it was too risky. There was always the next night, right? So we fell asleep holding hands and I couldn't stop smiling. In the morning though, I was lying there all alone. When Amy got up to go to the bathroom, I smiled at James and he smiled back. But then Amy came out and saw me and said, "Freak, stop staring at us like that." I thought James would stick up for me, but he didn't. He was acting like nothing had happened between us. The rest of that day was kind of weird. We just sat around.
He's kind of smart.
Quietly. At one point, James almost fainted. I mean, we were all starving. I was so weak. I just kept napping, and when I woke up from one of my naps,
food is no problem for the body. You can stay alive without food for like 1 month. 30 days, 25 days, but water is a big problem. Yeah, without like sweet water, you cannot even survive for like 48 hours, I guess.
James and Amy were eating biscuits. Where did they get them from? I could almost feel the saliva.
They have food and water. Where did they get
pouring out of my mouth, and I assumed Amy would offer me one, but she didn't. They ate them all, and after that, I didn't speak to either of them. I was so mad. I couldn't sleep that night because my stomach was rumbling so loudly. But once Amy had fallen asleep, James reached into his pocket and handed me a biscuit. I swear I almost kissed him right there and then. This was why I had a crush on him. He was actually a good guy, even if he had a demon for a girlfriend. For the next few nights, we got into a bit of a routine. After Amy fell asleep, we'd lie there and hold hands. And one night, James came right up to me, and I could tell he was about to kiss me. But Amy started murmuring.
They haven't brushed their teeth for days, and they puked. This is kind of disgusting.
Don't kiss each other. Moved over to her and held her. It drove me crazy. After we'd been down there for like 6 days, things were
6 days? Almost 1 week. This is insane.
Really starting to smell. The toilet, my clothes, it was nasty. And still, James and I hadn't shared a kiss. But for some reason, Amy still looked good. That day I noticed she didn't get up. It was like she'd given up on shouting for help, but it bothered me. Why should she get to sit there and chill? So I told her I'd just seen a huge spider, and I've never seen her run so fast. She raced up the stairs to where James was, and I immediately went over to where she'd been sitting. I just had this feeling she was hiding something, like another pack of biscuits. But I found something much bigger. Under where she'd been sitting was a loose part of the floorboard. I lifted it up and couldn't believe what I was seeing. There was so much stuff down there. Beauty products, food, a battery pack, even clothes. Oh my.
Okay, now we know the big secret why she got like water, food. She's looking always good because she had like she has like makeup under the wood planks. This is insane. Why does she have so much stuff in that basement?
My gosh, what was going on? I didn't have time to put the floorboard back before James appeared to find the spider. I whispered that Amy had been hiding stuff. James came running over and pulled out her phone. He knew her password and typed it in quickly. Then he saw some messages that said things like, I need to find a way to stop him going off to college. I'm scared he'll leave me. As he was reading them and I was eating one of her secret chocolate bars, she came down the stairs. What are you doing? She screamed, but it was too late. We'd caught her red-handed. She tried to grab her phone.
She wants to hide there, that no other girl can get him. She's that jealous.
Back from James, but he wouldn't give it to her. Eventually, she broke down and said that she didn't want James to leave her for college, so she'd planned this. But she had only meant for them to be stuck down there for 1 or 2 days. Then she said I'd ruined it all by turning up and getting them locked in here. But there was something else. While she'd been talking, I'd been digging around, and inside a pair of her socks was a key. I held it in my hands and watched as James went crazy at Amy. He said he couldn't believe he dated such a psycho and that
she's a psycho. They were stuck there for 7 days and she had the key all the time.
Actually ruined his life. Then the best part of all,
ruined his life. Relax, bro. 6 days do not ruin your life.
6
days in the basement with 2 girls and you kissed them both, bro.
And apologized. He said he was sorry he'd treated me so badly, but actually he'd realized how amazing I was and had enjoyed our sneaky hand-holding sessions while Amy slept. At that, Amy went berserk. She ran towards me and I quickly jumped away. Then I watched as she dug around inside her secret hiding place. Looking for this? I asked, swinging the key in my hand. Then I turned to James and said, she's been hiding this key the whole time. Before Amy could get to it, I ran up the stairs and undid the lock. James was right behind me and we both climbed out and collapsed onto the ground laughing. We were free. As Amy climbed out, I thought she was going to kick me or something, but she just stormed off. And James shouted after her, that's right, keep walking. I never want to see your face again.
Amy is a psycho, definitely.
Finally, she was gone. And James turned to me and gave me the biggest kiss ever. We could see the janitor running towards us. And before all hell broke loose with our parents about where we'd been for the past week, James asked for my number.
Yeah, the parents, they were like away. No mobile signal, nothing for 7 days. They thought they were dead already.
And now we're about to go on our first proper date. The worst week of my life just became the best week.
Sometimes it is exactly that way. A worse situation can turn into a good situation. When one door closes, it will open another one. Okay guys, this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Mats. We are the Hey Squad. Subscribe my channel if you are new here, guys. It's very easy. It's only 1 click below the video, or here you can subscribe here to the shout outs, guys. In every video I do 1 shout out. Shout out in this video goes out to Big Hands 786. If you want to get a shout out in the next video, just comment down below. And if you're lucky, then you will get a shout out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to other videos, and bye bye.